Reverend President Atkins, in the borough of Roselle. First of all, let me say thank you so very much for entertaining us on tonight. I think you've heard some statistics. Here's the reason why. If you look at 1940, the population of Roselle somewhere in the neighborhood of about 17,000 people. If you look at our population today, it's well over 21, close to 22,000 people. Since then, no school has been built, no library has been built. Matter of fact, the library that we currently have is in dire need of repair. So much so that we have actually quantified the amount to be approximately $94,000. What I can tell you is that our neighboring towns have places for their children to go. What I can tell you is that Roselle, at the present time, have no libraries in any of the schools, with the exception of the library, which last year we appropriated some funds to create a multimedia center for our children. What I can tell you is that when we thought about this particular project, we all sat down. It was the mayor, council, it was the Roselle Board of Education. In fact, we actually held a meeting and we all came together at one table and approved this project to move forward. We also had meetings inside of our borough to allow our constituents as well as our residents the opportunity to give us their input. Tell us what you want. Tell us where we should go with this. And what they said was, we need something that we can call our own. Matter of fact, they said this: our children, our kindergarten and pre-K is currently housed in 2 buildings that don't even belong to us. We're paying over $700,000 a year for something that don't belong to us. How are we going to pay for it? Those funds are going to be put into this particular project. Also, if you look at this particular project, not only does it improve the quality of life for our residents, but also it coincides with the vision of our borough, and that is to further the borough's vision by attracting new residents and new businesses. I'm sure that our town is like other towns where we do have foreclosures. Our town is just like other towns that have high taxes. But one thing that I've noticed in the last few years, I've walked from north to south, from east to west. Yes, in that little 2-point-some-odd-mile radius, I've spoke to the majority of 21,000 residents that currently live in Roselle. We're talking about the families. And what they want is this. They don't mind paying or investing in our town as long as we have something that they can call their own. In other words, they don't mind investing as long as they can see something for our children and for the next generation. So on tonight, as a member of our community, as a leader of our community, as a sitting council person, I asked you to move this forward because this is what we need. Our kids deserve something new. I just don't get why some people don't think that we don't deserve something new. But on tonight, with your help, we're going to move it forward. And I appreciate your time, and I thank you for listening to me. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman.
Good evening. Kim Shaw, Roselle, Borough of Roselle, and Borough Council President. Good evening to the Union County Freeholder Board. Good evening, everyone here. Over 20 years ago, my husband and I moved our family from Queens, New York to Roselle because we wanted them to have perhaps a less complicated life and upbringing than what we had living in a big city. And we fell in love with Roselle because it is a tight-knit community. We got involved, our children got involved, they received a solid education from Roselle Public Schools. They were frequent flyers at the Roselle Public Library. and they were involved in every activity under the sun. We got involved because we wanted more for our children, we wanted more for our community. And even today, as our kids have grown up and are young adults and they're successful and living their own lives, we still want more for our community. There is one truth that is irrefutable, and all the statistics in the world cannot change. When you invest in children, they reach their full potential. When you invest in children, when you show them that you believe that they can do and be better, that is exactly what they do. And so, yes, we are all concerned. I'm a homeowner as well. We're all concerned about our property taxes, and that's not just true in the borough of Roselle, that goes across the nation. But ultimately, if we don't invest in our community, we won't see those foreclosures go down. If we don't invest in our community, we won't see the value of our properties go up. If we don't invest in our community and in our children, we will not give them the foundation to be global citizens, to be able to go out in the world and compete in the workforce. So tonight, we thank you, Freeholder Board, for your past support, and we thank you for your anticipated support. Good night.
Oh boy. How's everybody? I'm shaking here, sitting here watching this. My name is Bob Sumner. As I sit here, thank you, Ms. Wright. The reason I'm saying this is for 55 years, I'd like to say I've been a resident of Roselle, but I have to take 20 of those years back. For 35 years, I've been a resident of Roselle. For 20 of those years, I was a resident of Union. The reason being, I didn't see any place for my kids. I felt that I've been in Roselle since 1961. My family is known in Roselle. But I saw that I had to leave because I didn't see that my kids were going to have the same upbringing I had, because everything was falling apart. I went to Union and everything was beautiful. Seriously. I've come back to Roselle because I see that Roselle is back on the rise. Everything that Union had for my kids, that Olympic-sized pool, they learned how to swim, right? Education, library, so much. I took time out of my busy schedule to be here. Didn't know it was going to be like this, but I used to hear about it, and I work in television. And I said, they used to tell me, Bob, it's a comedy show on Roselle TV. And they was serious. I had never seen it. But then I saw it get better. But then I see that it's always a couple people that want to knock what's going on. Now, I'm true Roselle. I'm an education person. I just got honored at Seton Hall University. I'm not just up here talking just to be talking. I know that this here is what we need, because taxes is one thing, but the kids going back and forth to jail and things like that, I know with this, we will keep those kids off those streets. So all I'm saying, you guys, is please feel my passion. Thanks again for getting my son through Central 5. My wife is now a school nurse there. We can talk about it. Thank you, everybody.
Good evening. Freeholders. My name is Hazel Matthew Walker Rainey, 1104 Frank Street for over 30 years in the borough of Roselle. For half a century, I've called the great borough of Roselle my home. I have seen this borough go through many changes. There was a time when people who looked like me were told that we don't have the right to do certain things. I thank God to have lived to see a country where we know everybody has the right to be treated with dignity. And I'm proud to live in a borough with so many people from different backgrounds, races, and faiths. It is a beautiful thing that we can come together and do great things to build a community, a better community. As a former councilwoman and a mother, I've seen so many dedicated people over the years who volunteer to work with the children of Roselle and keep them involved in different sports. And many kids' lives have been changed for the better because they played on Roselle sports teams. So we know how important recreation is. To young people. But it's also important to the not so young, me. Roselle needs a place where we can go to play, exercise, and even just socialize. And just like every other municipality in this county, Roselle deserves a place we can be proud of. We also need a school for my great-granddaughter to begin her education. And we need a bigger, better library for my grandchildren to read and study in. I'm a taxpayer, a high taxpayer. And I care about my tax dollars like everyone else. And I'm also willing to pay for a project that is going to build our community up. So thank you, freeholders, for helping us with this project, because we need it and we deserve it. And I just want to say, if we don't put the community center down, just enlarge the building next door. All right.
Carla Walker, current second ward councilwoman, Roselle, following my mom's footsteps. Born and raised, 46 years. It's a little disheartening to hear people talk about a project that will help our children. But this comes from the same people who sat on our board of education but chose to send their kids to other schools. You get no respect from me. You talk about value. You didn't value Roselle enough to send your kids there. I'm not going to be repetitive. I'm going to say this. Elizabeth. I'm sorry. Granddaughter. Elizabeth, 3+ rec centers, 1+ pools. Linden, 2+ rec centers, 1+ pools. Rawley, 2+ rec centers, 1 which is beautiful, 2+ pools. Cranford, 2+ rec centers, 2+ pools. Clark, 1 rec center, 1 pool. Why doesn't Roselle deserve the same? And like my mother said, as a parent of 2 children in this community, our high school has nationally ranked track teams who run in our hallways to practice. We don't have a track. And talk about operational costs. We have volunteers who have been volunteering for over 20 years and not have been paid 1 dime. You think they're going to stop volunteering because we got a better building, or you think the volunteers are going to come out even more? I thank you for entertaining, but please think about our children. Roselle sits in the middle of all these towns, and all their kids have places to go except ours. Currently, we have kids going to the recreation center in Linden. There's council people in Linden turning our kids away because they don't have Linden addresses. Where does that leave them? On St. George Avenue. We need somewhere for our kids to go. Thank you and good night.
Christina Stockberger, 121 West 7th Avenue, Roselle, New Jersey. I'm going to start this with a Frederick Douglass quote. It's easier to build strong children than it is to repair broken men. And if you think that our children don't need this rec center, then you're completely lost at the point of what life is about. Because our children need to learn dance, arts. They can be learning so much through a rec center and having a place to go. Because right now they have no place to go. And when I first moved to Roselle, I was told that we had a teenage drinking problem in the town of Roselle. And I couldn't understand, but then I saw their activities are standing in front of 7-Eleven, standing in front of the laundromat on St. George Avenue, because where are they supposed to go? They don't have any place for an outlet. We could be teaching them dance. We could be teaching them anti-bully programs. We could have so many things that can go beyond just saying, oh, well, we have a rec center. What's the point? If we're going to have taxpayers that are going to pay for these taxes, but nothing to offer, how do you think we're going to draw in new people? We have new apartments being built on a golf course. All that's going to do is bring more children. Where are these children going? What are they going to do? I'm for the center because without a center, we don't have a future for our children. It's just a place to live. They're just existing. They have to learn to love themselves, appreciate things, and by the gardening programs, by the rec centers, by everything. That's how we build our children. We build them strong through the programs that we can give to them. Not just by saying, hey, you got a house, but where are you going to go after you come home from school? What are you going to do? We could have the Union County the vocational programs, helping to build some of these things. Why aren't we employing some of our students that are being trained for certain careers so that they can come out with experience? They can come up and put some of the fencings in. They can help build the pool to cut the cost. There's ways if you think outside the box, but these children need it. You can't turn around and turn your back on the children because we're going to lose them. And that's my point.
Hello everyone, my name is Janine Lynn. I'm actually a resident of Roselle Park, but my heart is in Roselle. I decided to come up here and speak today because I have a few different perspectives about why this project is needed. One, being a graduate of Abraham Park High School in Roselle, I've experienced having to utilize the limited facilities for both track and field and basketball. After I graduated, I came back as a volunteer for our recreation program, our travel basketball program. I just want to give you guys a visual. Imagine having about 100 plus kids in one gym at the same time trying to teach them, and I'm talking about from 4th grade to even up to high school, because the high school kids never like to go home after their practice was over, trying to teach them the game of basketball so that they will be able to compete against these other towns that do have different facilities for each individual team to have their own practice time at. It's tough. So because of our limited time in the gym, when we go out to compete against these other teams, we're already at a disadvantage because we don't have the time nor the facilities to really take the time with our kids and teach them, take our time teaching them without a million other kids in the gym distracting them because they're trying to get the same work in as well, okay? I think it's really, really, really important that our kids have some place to go to. I'm a child protection worker in Newark. My fiance worked for juvenile detention right here in Linden. So imagine the stories that we have about these kids who don't have a place to go. Just imagine that. Okay, he comes home and he talks about the kids in his facility that live in towns where they don't have anywhere to go, no place to hang out, so they're left out in the streets. I go to families' homes every day and people are calling because the parents don't have the resources or the places to send their kids to get any type of extracurricular activity. This is so important so that people like me don't show up to some of these parents' doors and people like my fiance are not trying to serve these kids inside of a jail. Thank you.
To the Freehold, thank you for being here, for listening to us tonight. I'm a resident also of Roselle, New Jersey. I've lived there for about 45, maybe 46 years.
Can I just ask you to give us your name, please?
My name is Dorothy Kelly.
Thank you.
I live at 1115 Drake Avenue in Roselle, New Jersey. All 5 of my children attended the Roselle school system. Each one of them graduated. I love Roselle. I talk about Roselle because I had one child go to college and leave home at 17 after he got out of school and went to college, got a scholarship for basketball. he come back to Roselle, him and another one of the young boys, to see what they could do to help the children that was left behind. So when he got here, he didn't have any place for him to go. So my daughter bought a house in Linden, and that hurt me because we all come up in Roselle. But there was nowhere for the children to take a part. She wanted to learn her son how to swim. So he went to work with the kids in Linden. The police came by and saw with 25 kids in the yard, and they said to him, "Don't you need a place?" So he said, "Yes." So you know what they gave him? They gave him the PL in Linden for the children, because we don't have a place in Roselle. These boys went to school, to college, and got their degree, basketball coaches. Come back, he coached in Kenilworth because he couldn't coach in Roselle because there was nowhere to send the kids. And I feel that if this project is going to go forth, since I got to pay money anyhow, why not let's do it for the kids? Why not let's get this thing rolling? Where our children I have somewhere, my grandchildren, my children growing up, and my little grandchildren is there. And I'm tired of them being in my yard. My sister, my daughter got them in her yard. But now my son is working. They give him a place at the PAL in Linden. We want it in Roselle. We deserve that. Yes. We pay tax in Roselle, and we deserve this place. We deserve this for our children. And I thank you for this space.
Good evening. Good evening, freeholders. First of all, I'd like to say thank you for your ongoing support for a lot of projects that you've done in Roselle. My name is Donald Shaw, 242 West 4th Avenue, and I'm also a recreational leader of the town. You heard a lot of stories about limited space, nowhere for our kids to go. With this project, you'll definitely create a safe haven.
That's right.
Within the last 4 or 5 years since I've been involved in recreation, Union County, you can see the improvements that we've made in town. Violent crime has gone down with our kids in town. We've created a lot of different programs, not only for our kids, but for our seniors. We have a few of them here, and I'd like to bring up one of them here, and BT Master, if you can come up and join me for a second. We talked about the gardening program. You guys funded us from our gardening program to a skate park. He runs our community center and our garden, and you've seen what has happened in a few weeks of getting that fence. We have 3 events coming up in that garden geared towards our community, getting folks out to volunteer and everything else. So to my left of me, we have our senior group here who utilize our community center. I have 10 different programs in a small space, which is our SDM Outfit Community Center, and she runs a few of them. One of the things that we decided to do this summer was to get our seniors involved in senior swim programs, to get them out, 1, to keep them out the heat, 2, to get them moving around, moving limbs and stuff around, 3, for them to get together and fellowships. We had to bus our seniors to Royal YMCA. You heard a young lady speak about the Royal YMCA having over 100 children in their camp. We actually utilized that pool for 300 of our kids during our summer camp program at the Royal YMCA, plus our senior program. So just imagine what this project would do for Roselle with our seniors and our children, and also bringing folks out to our community events. So once again, I'd like to thank you for your ongoing support and for projects that you have supported thus far. Thank you. Thank you.
Hello. My name is Kathy Jackson, and as Mr. Shaw stated, I am the instructor for the seniors at the center, where we meet twice a week, every Tuesday and Wednesday at 1 o'clock. In each class, it's full, but it would be much more better because we have seniors that have walkers that are not able to attend. A lot of them, it's just not a user-friendly environment for those seniors that can't get out. I would say like a ramp or whatever, but a user-friendly center, we could have more seniors come out and participate in the classes. We always talk about healthy lifestyles and keeping the seniors fit. So to have an environment where that is user-friendly for seniors would be much welcome.
Thank you.
My name is B.T. Mathis, 1252 Schaefer Avenue, Roselle. Some moons ago, I was a teenager. And I remember the PAL, I remember the Boys Club, and there were places that I could go. What's happening today is almost deliberate. These young people are being set up to go to prison. What we have to do, if you care about them, is to provide alternatives and places to go so that they can stay in check and have older people watch over them as they grow. Young people are going to be mischievous. And if you don't have something to guide them, to keep them, then you're asking for trouble. And the sad thing is that you end up paying for it anyway. If you don't, you're going to pay for it anyway. So why not take them, mold them to be citizens like yourselves, rather than have them, as the lady pointed out, down the street. It's up to you guys to be able to say they deserve better, and then you vote on it, because they are watching you too. Thank you.
I have two children, a 12-year-old and I have a 9-year-old. Both girls. And I watched this summer when I went to take swimming. I had to make sure I was one of the first people in line to follow the rules. Because everybody who's being counted only have a couple options. Wherever school, which is the town right next door, is private. You have to pay almost $5,000 a year in order to have access to that. So I understand that having a community center in our town, a new library, new school, it will only boost the children of Roselle. You'll probably see increase in the scores with a new library. Big thing about the park testing right now, if you go to the Roselle library, it's only 8 computers for almost 60 kids at a time. They have a 5-minute limit on computers, and then the funding that's pushed down into the schools is based on them taking a test with a computer. So in school, they get a couple hours. They can't get it at the library because it's 5 minutes at a time. And this is where you're filtering all these kids to this one library, 8 computers. So I think it would be in the best interest for everyone to invest in this project. I think that we will see major accomplishments of the children because they will have things to do. I think you'll see a big turnout in the number of volunteers. I look at what the recreation department does out there here. It was amazing when I got here with the summer team and the things for the team. But everything has to be outside. My daughter runs track. And they're really good trackers. But like the young lady said earlier, with the youth track, when it's indoor track season, they only practice in the hallway of the high school. So imagine what happens when you're the first time, when you step out on the track for your first time, it doesn't look like the hallway of a high school. You know? So, I mean, I think this gives us a lot of opportunities to continue to build Roselle. Already a tight-knit community. I know the community is tighter. I think that kids will flourish. I mean, there's a lot of programs that come out of this, a lot of good ones we've done. Thank you.
Good evening, my name is Sweet Roselle. I am a Roselle resident. I am a homeowner. I am a parent of 3. I am a niece to 2 aunts who both live in Roselle as well. We've heard a lot about the kids. I'm here definitely for my children. I'm for this for my children. I have 2 boys and a daughter. My boys, they're a little rare, some people say, because they enjoy reading. They really love that library. My youngest son has gotten to the point where most of the books in there he's read. Librarian in there, special access, and come in every Monday. We take about 25 books, fix that, every Monday. It's to the point now where we go there, I read that. Where do I go to get more reading? This music center, this library, would be great for them. Would be great for both of them. As the last person just said, the computers. My older son wants to go on the computer to be the iReady. He wants to do his homework. We have a computer. Okay, so the kids fight over the computer. I don't have 3 computers. Got 3 children. This would be great for my children to have an additional place to go and learn to study. My aunt she currently needs to have knee replacement. She's been overweight for some time. She's had issues with her weight. She can't really do any type of aerobic exercises because of the impact. A community swimming pool, water aerobics, that would be phenomenal for her. She would be able to get her health in order. One of the things that I remember, I'm a Roselle resident. I'm from Ohio. I grew up in Ohio. I've been in New Jersey for 15 years. One of the things as a child that you don't really realize until you get older is how much of the impact seniors have on your life, a positive impact of that. You generally take it for granted, and I'm sure the kids will probably take it for granted, the senior impact and interacting with the seniors. However, my grandmother always told me, mind your manners. Walking outside, me and my friends, doesn't matter if my grandmother knew the person, she's going to correct you. You're wrong, you're wrong. Putting our children in front of positive influences and not each other as their influences is nothing but positive for our community. So I'm here for my aunt, I'm here for my children, I'm here for Roselle. Asking, begging, pleading, anything to do to help is great. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Javon Berger, 444 Harrison Avenue. I've been a resident of Roselle going on 15 years now. Currently, I work with youth. I volunteer in different capacities with football, community, basketball, and other things. Right now, and I also work in the school system. And right now, I do believe that Roselle needs something. We need something that invests into our children, invests into our community, invests for all the citizens of Roselle. Right now, currently, there's 5 schools that don't have one, that have, they call it a multi-purpose. That serves as your lunchroom, your auditorium, and your gymnasium. After school, there's after-school programs that go to 6 o'clock. After that, these small rooms are available for after-school activities. That's if the principal wants you to use those rooms. It's not fair to residents. We have over 21,000 residents. We have a lot of kids. These kids need a place to go. They need a place for creativity. I was talking to a counterpart and we were discussing a project. We were like, we need a swimming pool for black people don't swim. Teach us how to swim. You know, give us the resources. If you have looked at the Olympics of this year, we need resources. This is something that Roselle needs, our kids need, our teachers need. I work in kindergarten. You see the kindergarten. Gym is outside the parking lot. It's an open place. At any point, somebody can come into that parking lot. There's cars going in and out. There's no secure place. We need a school. We need the facilities. Thank you.
I know there are many of you who want to speak. What I'm going to ask is that you try not to be repetitive. Maybe we can give it another 15 minutes or so of comments, and then we'll move on to the vote. I'm not trying to stop anybody, but we have heard you loud and clear. Please continue.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Arthur Rice. I live at 909 Washington Avenue, Roselle, New Jersey. I've been living in Roselle since I was 4 years old. I moved from North New Jersey. I went through every piece of school system in Roselle. All right. I went from Washington Elementary, Gracewood Middle School, to the high school, 8th grade, graduated, and moved on. I never got in trouble, and my mother, she was different, so I never deal with her. But besides the fact of that, I have 2 sons at this point in time, one 9, one will be 3 on Saturday. I'm married at this point in time, and I'm also looking to be a homeowner in Roselle. So not moving. I'm one of the kids that when it snowed outside, and you had nowhere to play basketball, you had to wait until either the sun melted the snow, and y'all go out with the shelf to do it. I'm one of those type of kids. I'm one of those type of kids that went to the library and there really wasn't that much stuff to choose from, and the books that you did get were already deteriorated. I'm one of those types of kids that walked the hallway and only went down one hallway, made a loop, and that was it. So at this point in time, I know that you don't want me to be too competitive, and I'm not going to be. I just really hope that for the sake of the kids, not only the kids, but everybody in the borough of Roselle, and everybody that plans on moving to the borough can have an opportunity to be afforded the same privileges that every other town in the county has. Thank you. So, my name is Wendell Williams. I'm a resident of 123 Chandler Avenue. Like I said, you don't need to say the zip code. I'm also I was an athlete in Roselle. Worked in Roselle school system. Been 16 years. Moved to Jersey City, New Jersey. My mom, dad, went to that. And the only reason why I'm a little emotional right now is because I'm EMT right at the Roselle. We have great police officers. We have a great fire department. We have a great brother. Our first responding unit is perfect. But the toughest thing is when you're in the firehouse and you get a call over the loudspeaker and say, 17-year-old male shot. And the first thing when you're going down, going to the ambulance, the first thing I think of is, I hope it's a kid I know. Because I have had that night when it was a kid I know. And I had been a night when it was a kid I coached. I stayed up nights, hoping that this kid was all right. He made me, I can't really speak on too much about it. This is the stuff that happens when we don't have kids, a place for kids to go. This is exactly what happens. They have nowhere else to go. They run to the streets. They become gang members. And it's so sad that by me coaching for a certain amount of years, and I see which way these kids going, you can almost tell. It's like you can almost see it coming. I have 2 kids at home. I have a 5-year-old and I have a 1-year-old. And it's sad to say this, but I was like, oh, hey, I talked to my fiance. I said, well, what are you gonna do? What are we gonna do? Because my job, I don't know about everybody else in here, but my job as a parent to make sure my kid is much better than I am. That's my job. That's my parents' job, and that's my job. So I gotta make sure that my son is a better man than what I have become. And I am a great man. So, and I'm ashamed to say this because I asked my fiance where we were going to go, and I was breaking down to my son. My son plays Pop Warner right now. He plays basketball, recreation, but there's nowhere to train him in the wintertime. There's nowhere to train him to be the best. You go to other towns, they have personal trainers where personal trainers sit down with these kids and inside the gyms and they show them all these different moves and show them all these different angles, show them how to full court press. These kids miss that in the wintertime. And my son looked up at me, he said, "Why can't I play for Roselle? You did." I had no answer. No answer for a 5-year-old. So I'm just asking y'all, please just try to work with the town and try to work with our kids. Thank you, and that's all.
Well, my name's Deborah. That's my son. That's my son. You know, I see it every day. November be 20 years I've been in my house. That's who I made New Jersey. We gotta start worrying about saving $1 and save our children. Save our children. I see it every day. I work in the school system from 7:30 to 6:30. I'm the first one there, the last one to leave. That's save our children. Stop worrying about saving $1. You can't take nothing with you when you're done here. No, you won't carry you out when you leave. Let's care for our children while we're here. Please help us out. Life is real, and we need help for our kids. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, my name is Mona. I'm a junior at Union Primary School. My name is Solon Watson, and I'm a junior at Abraham Park High School. My name is Destiny, and I'm a junior at Abraham Park High School. I believe that we should have a community center because most of the I know that we're going to about. They're going down about that, and I feel like the community kids are raised. Yeah, there's no way to do it like that. I believe that during that time we can utilize it to bring everyone together and so that everyone in my community and all my friends can end up making long decisions. I believe that me and my friends can learn something from the community. We can have different activities. Yeah.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
This would be fun again.
Good evening. My name is Tamika Hobson. I'm from 126 Strong Place. And basically, I have one child, but I always seem to have 5 with me all the time. And it's just like, I just want to make sure they're safe all the time. I'm hard on them. I treat all of them like they're my own children. And they'll tell you that I yell. I tell them that I'm going, if I see them on the street, I'm going to snatch them up. I don't want the kids to have to walk the streets. I want them to have a safe place to go during the day, at night. I think the community center would be an amazing thing, and just hopefully the kids will go there before they do anything else. And right now, I'm just tired of hearing about kids being out in the streets, shot, doing something wrong, burning football fields. It's just, they're bored, so you need somewhere to go. Also, about my mom, for example, my mother's medical insurance is like cancer. She needs to go somewhere to have, until he wanted to do like therapy in a pool. She can't afford it. So I just think that the swimming pool will be something beneficial for her. I've lived in Roselle for 13 years. So to me, this would just be something to make it even better. I have no intentions on leaving anytime soon. I want my daughter, her friends, to have something to look forward to. And I just think this will be something positive for them. So, thank
you. Thank you for your patience. I'm Jean Marie Ryan, 142 Vernon Terrace, Westfield, New Jersey. I'm the Roselle Public Library Director. And I just wanted to say that of all the communities I've ever worked in, Roselle has the greatest sense of community I've ever encountered. I'm proud to be here tonight representing the library's interests. And I'd also like to say that if you came to our library after school, you would find kids sitting on the floor in violation, I'm sure, of every code in the borough, but they need someplace to be. We do not have a program room. We limit their computer usage to give as many children as possible a chance to have access. I come before you every year and I ask you for books, while my colleagues ask you for much more glamorous projects, which you generously funded last month. But we need to meet our basics. And even if I wanted the 3D printer, I don't have a space to put it because I don't have a program room. So I am asking you, for the good of everyone in this community, to fund this project. And I thank you for your support. And the last thing I want to say is in those icy winter storms where everybody else is closing early, we stay open late because our parents are out at work and their children need a safe place to be. Thank you very much.
Sitting in the Freeholder Board, my name is Samuel Bishop, and I'm very proud to represent the 5th Ward on the City Council in the Borough of Roselle. I'm going to be very short and to the point. You've seen the greatness of the people of Roselle for the last probably 40 minutes or so, and you understand their passion. So basically, my comments are really more on a logical basis. We haven't had schools in umpteen years, you've heard the figures. The one thing I want to ask all of the residents of Roselle that are here, we've done nothing for decades. Has anybody's taxes gone down?
No.
So the point that I'm making is that we have to invest in our town. If we don't invest, who will? We've seen what the status quo and the people of fear that sat on boards of education did nothing, and our taxes still went up. Okay? We're asking you to alleviate some of the debt. I don't understand the people that come up here and ask you to vote no. In other words, they want to pay $3 million more for the project. We're asking you to supplement us. We're asking you to help us so that we can rise. You have to use imagination sometimes in life. I love a quote that Robert Kennedy, late Senator Robert Kennedy once said. He said, most people look at things as they are and ask why. I see things that never was and ask why not. Thank you so much for your support.
We'll take it fast. There's 3 more people. 3 people standing up and that'll be it.
Thank you. Good evening, Union County Freeholders. My name is Andrea Staten. I live in the borough of Roselle. I stand before you as a Roselle resident for 19 years, a mother of a 13-year-old scholar and athlete, the councilwoman for the 3rd Ward of the borough of Roselle, and the chair for recreation. I stand before you as a cheer mom, a track mom, a soccer mom, a basketball mom. I have stood in the hallways at Abraham Clark High School and watched my daughter and her teammates run up and down the hallways, training for nationals in Delaware and Maryland. Who allowed their children to run up and down the hallways of a high school? Who wants to see it? It's dangerous. Our children need somewhere to go. I have stood outside in the cold weather because the schools have kicked the Pop Warner cheerleaders out of the gym because they had to host a basketball game or back to school night. My daughter has been on the computer waiting list at the Roselle Library. My car has been riddled with bullets. So with that being said, you have heard a lot of things tonight. I don't want to be repetitive, but this is a heartfelt plea. So please help us with this project. Our children deserve this community center. Our children are worth it. Thank you so much for being here.
education. I'm sitting here, I want to be repetitive because a lot that was said is just, it's the passion. And as I was sitting here, the tears, I said, well, I'm going to be emotional when I get up here. But I would not be doing my children justice who have gone through. I have a child that's in college right now. And when I told him what was going on tonight, he said, wow, Mom, are there people who would say no to that? Because when he was in the town, he just didn't have anything that he could do. And I did so much as a parent to try to spend extra money to have them to do different things that other children in the surrounding community had to do. Every time my child talks about when he gets rich, he talks about making sure that money comes back to Roselle to be able to build something. And when he says it, he's not laughing. So if there is a concern about whether the money is going to come back, my child is going to be rich, and he's going to do that, and he's going to help Roselle. So please help us. Thank you.
Good evening, freeholders. I think you've heard enough for Roselle for the rest of the year. But I want to thank you so much for all the support that you've given this community. Since I've been an elected official, going back as a councilman, later as a mayor, and now as a state assemblyman, you have always been so supportive of the borough of Roselle, whether it was improving our parks, providing funding for our gardens. And now we come tonight before you to say, please help us build our new minded body complex. Before I begin to talk a little bit about why I think that we should need this, I want to thank the group of professionals, the architects, the engineers, the attorneys, the consultants, the financial consultants, who have sat with me day in and day out for the last 5 years to bring this project to fruition. And you've heard countless stories, and there's thousands out there that you haven't seen. But as a young African-American male who grew up in that town, I am telling you that there is a need. I don't know how I survived unless it was not for the efforts of my grandmother and people that you see sitting behind me. But the child that I was is not the child today. It's a different type of child. And they need different types of things so they can be different types of people. And I don't know what else to say. You've heard me over the last 5 years. I've lost friends because of this project. People have come after me politically because of this project. I have been told by elected officials, no names tonight, it's not necessary, that we don't even need a library. Libraries don't work. I have been through blood, sweat, and tears over this project, all because of the voices that you heard prior to me. This is what they want. This is what they need. This is what our children for our future are begging for. And so for me to sit over the last 5 years with a group of professionals and my great community of Roselle, I love you all so very much. You are real people. And tonight, Freeholder Board, all we're asking is that the same funding and the same guarantee that you've given for bonds to build fire homes in other municipalities, libraries in other municipalities, schools in other municipalities, support for other municipalities, we come here tonight for Roselle to say, would you help us? God bless you all. I thank all of you for your support.
I'm now going to call that portion of the meeting to a close.